Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Rob. I'm the owner of Fifth Gear Consulting and a professor of operations management. I've decided to kick off my channel here with an inaugural video on 5 whys analysis.
Why?
Because it's helpful for problem solving.
Why?
No, I'm not doing this with you.
Why?
Stop it. No, don't do it.
Why?
5 whys is important for understanding true problem definition. It's important not to confuse your problem with your overall root cause or what you think the root cause is. For example, if you have a company that operates with a forklift and you have an operator who hits their head on the forklift cage, the root cause is not that the operator is too tall or that the cage is too low. What is the problem?
That guy hit his head.
Well, yes, but we want to be a little more thorough than that. But at its core, that is the problem. When investigating the problem, you want to gather data and support it and pull in cross-functional individuals from different departments to provide varying input. This is important for a number of reasons, primarily being that the problem will impact different departments in different ways. Obviously, the operations will be impacted by the lost time from the operator who hit their head, but we'll also have impacts from finance and cost controls. We'll have HR and employee relations. We'll have safety, obviously, and recordability, and there will be other impacts as well. So when you're looking at a 5 whys analysis, you need to start by developing your problem statement. This does not need to be complicated, but it should have supporting data to support the actual problem. For example, the worker hit their head. Has this happened before? How many times? Are there other head injuries? What is this ultimately impacting? You should work with cross-functional groups to observe the problem and gather varying perspectives and strengthen your understanding of the problem. Interview people that this problem directly impacts. This includes the individual that actually hit their head on the forklift. You might want to talk to witnesses, people in the safety department in this instance as well, maybe even the company that produced the forklift. Once you've constructed your problem statement, you'll need to move on to the 5 whys portion of the exercise. The first why is simply just asking why the stated problem occurred. You need to answer the question by explaining why this condition exists. Your second why will ask the same question and why does that condition exist, and then answer that question in the same way. This will persist until you've hit the root cause of the problem. There are a number of considerations that need to be made when going through this exercise. Focus on controllables. Your response to why did the guy hit his head should not be because he's 6'7". You can't change the height of the operator. If you reach a point in the analysis where you can't make the root cause controllable, then you need to stop and go back to the previous step where it is controllable. Nothing's going to frustrate a manager more than having a 30-minute presentation on something that you ultimately can't change, fix, or control. You can have more or less than 5 whys. Generally speaking, the minimum should be around 3 and the max should be around 8. You just kind of have to stop when it makes sense, or if you hit a non-controllable. If you've gone less than 3 whys, you're probably not deep enough into the problem, or you're starting with what you assume to be the root cause. There can be multiple root causes, and oftentimes your 5 whys will split off into multiple analyses, 2 or more, right? You're going to treat these as 2 separate problems, and you're going to go through and you're going to ask the 5 whys in each of those root causes respectively, or those problem statements rather, respectively. Everything should be supported by data. Data is king. If you don't have data, how do you know that you even have a problem? How do you know that your condition exists or is actually impactful? How will you be able to measure success after you've corrected the problem? You need to have data. Data. It's important. Data is king. Okay, gotta have data. Ultimately, the goal of the 5 whys is to peel back the layers of the situation to examine, at its core, why did this happen? If you only look at surface level issues, then you're likely just going to treat symptoms with a Band-Aid and not preventing it from occurring in the first place. Lastly, make sure that when you're going through this and you're investigating with your team, that you're actually investigating the process or the environment. You don't want the person to feel like they're the one that's responsible for the situation. You got to engage people in the analysis without making them feel like they're a part of the problem. Oftentimes, culture will play a part in how things are the way they are, but as a leader, that's ultimately your responsibility, and you got to do all you can do to set up employees for success, and that's kind of why we go through this exercise. How do we take what we've learned from these exercises and implement things that help to set up our employees for success so they don't get injured or they don't create errors or quality defects, et cetera, et cetera. That's all I've got for this video. Please like and subscribe for more content on how to better your operations. If you would like to reach out to me and understand how I may be able to help your business, click my company website in the description below and contact me there. The beauty of operations is that there are many ways to be successful and various ways to get there. Do you do 5 whys? How do you do it? Are there things that I've missed? Are there topics you'd like me to cover in the future? Please leave a comment in the section below and let me know. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time, and thanks again for visiting.
Why?